Skid Row were just thinking of starting. So I had no background in Dublin beat groups. In fact, the only one I ever saw was the old Skid Row. That actually was the first live pop group I'd ever seen. And I was so impressed.
I think Skid Row was a collection of very fine musicians. They were a really, really hot live band at the time. I actually think that was a very good lineup of Skid Row with Brush, Gary and Philo, which had the potential to do well internationally, except, of course, there were three very large egos on stage. All of whom ultimately felt that they had something original themselves to offer.
I don't know about the guys, but with me, money is the thing. But the reason I ride is because I can, you know.
Bruce Shields was the bass player and main mover.
Well, if money is the main thing for you, surely you're going to write any kind of old crap as long as you make money out of it.
That's what I'm doing.
They had Nullick Bridgman on drums. They also had Gary Moore on guitar. Bush had decided that Phil didn't fit, that he was going to sing himself. So when he was firing Philip from Skid Row, he agreed to teach him how to play bass. And change your mind. Phil then became a bass player and singer with Thin Lizzy.
When Brush decided that I was no longer necessary for the Skid Row setup, you know, he said I should take up an instrument and learn how to play the bass before I was thrown out of the band, you know, so he gave me a couple of bass lessons and I started taking up the bass.
Look what the wind just blew in.
Me and Brian had always been mates, regardless of whether we were playing together or not, you know, and I knew he was up, so we said we'd form a band. Eric Bell thought of the name. There was a comic called the Beano, and when we were looking for a name of the band, he bought a copy of the Beano. And there was a female robot called Tin Lizzy. I thought it was a dreadful name. And I was not afraid. And it was about as deep as that, you know.
You always thought Leonard he was the quintessence of cool, really. There's no doubt about it, I think. You know, he never tried too hard. And maybe he tried, but he didn't look like he was trying.
There goes Moses carrying his Bible book.
And really, I have to admit, you're following this guy around with your tongue hanging out, say, wishing you were his ankle even, as the fella said. You'd watch him now and he'd say, right, okay, you guys want to turn down the light a little bit there, and you'd start talking like this. You'd say, right, you want to dance, yeah?
And here I'll go laughing like a fool, yeah.
Philip had a very strong sense of the poetic. He was plugged into the Liverpool poets and with the idea of the sort of bohemian lifestyle that was becoming more fashionable at the time.
Things ain't working out.
And so he wasn't just a flash rock and roller, although he was a flash rock and roller. He was also a romantic, and he was somebody who had, as I said, a real ability with words and stories.
In a lot of ways, Phil Lynott